They said the mansion at the edge of the forest was cursed, that if you stood too close to the gates on a foggy night, you could hear a girl's voice humming an unfinished song, and see a candle burning in an upstairs window that hadn't been lived in for years. The mansion belonged to the Blackwood family once. Now it belonged to no one except the girl who refused to leave. Her name was Elora. She was pale as frost, silent as a shadow, with 2 perfect black braids that fell down her back like ropes. The people in town rarely saw her, but when they did, she never spoke. Her grey eyes always looked a little too far away, as if she was watching something no one else could see. Every day, she lit candles that burned all night, their wax dripping into cold silver trays. She dusted the portraits on the walls, each one a woman who looked exactly like her. And at midnight, she would sit at the grand piano in the empty hall and play the same song over and over again. A song with no ending. The mansion itself seemed alive. The floors creaked where no one stepped, and the mirrors were always covered in dark velvet. Only one mirror remained uncovered, the tall one in the basement. Elora had been told never to touch it. Her grandmother, before she vanished, had warned her, "The glass remembers, don't let it remember you." But curiosity, like the cold, always finds its way in. One stormy night, when the wind howled and lightning carved the sky, Elora woke to the sound of the piano playing. But she wasn't sitting at it. She rose from her bed, her candle trembling in her hand, and followed the music down the dark hall. The air felt thick, almost breathing. Every shadow seemed to stretch toward her. When she reached the piano, the keys were moving by themselves, and above it, hanging crooked on the wall, was a mirror she had never seen before, glowing faintly blue. In the reflection, she wasn't holding a candle. She was standing perfectly still, her eyes darker, her lips curved into a slow, deliberate smile. Elora froze. Then her reflection whispered, though her own lips didn't move, "You've been gone a long time." The candlelight flickered violently. Her pulse quickened. She backed away, but the floor groaned beneath her feet, and the sound of footsteps echoed behind her. When she turned, no one was there. A whisper slithered through the hall, "Come back downstairs." And just like that, the piano stopped. Elora ran to the basement door, drawn by something she couldn't name. It opened easily, too easily, and the cold hit her like a breath. She descended the steps slowly, her candlelight shaking against the stone walls. At the bottom, she found the mirror again, taller, older, cracked like a spider's web. And in it, her reflection waited patiently. "You shouldn't be here," she whispered. The reflection smiled. "I never left." The glass rippled. The candle went out. When Elora opened her eyes, she was standing on the other side. The mirror room was brighter, warmer, but wrong. The air shimmered like smoke. Portraits hung perfectly straight on the walls, and soft piano music floated through the halls. She wandered the corridors, searching for the staircase, but everything was backwards. Every turn led her back to the same door, the one that led to the mirror, and in that glass she saw her world, cold, dark, empty, and a girl standing there holding a candle, staring in horror. Her reflection had replaced her. "No," she whispered, pressing her hand to the glass. The other girl looked at her calmly, the faintest hint of pity in her eyes, before she turned and walked away. Elora screamed, but no sound came. Days passed, or weeks. Time didn't work the same in the mirror world. The house was beautiful here, perfect, polished, eternal. But every face in every portrait followed her with the same quiet smile. She wasn't alone. Every reflection ever trapped there was still inside the glass. Silent figures watching from the corners, their eyes pale and empty, their lips moving in slow whispers that never reached the air. At night, they gathered near her room, their shapes flickering like candlelight. One by one, they whispered the same thing: finish the song. She sat at the piano, trembling, and played the melody she'd always known, the song with no ending. The final notes came to her like a memory buried too deep, and when she struck the last key, the room began to shake. The glass shattered, light poured through. For a moment, she was free, standing once more in her old room, breathing real air. But something was wrong. The house was too quiet, too still. The portraits were smiling again, but none of them looked like her anymore. When she looked in the mirror, her reflection didn't move. It just stood there, calm and content, watching her. Then it blinked and smiled. Now, if you walk past the Blackwood mansion at night, you might see her standing in the upstairs window, pale, poised, holding a candle that never burns out. And if you listen closely, beneath the sound of wind and rain, you can still hear that song, the one she finished, echoing through the halls. No one knows if Elora ever escaped that mirror. Some say the real one did. Others say she's still there on the other side, waiting for someone curious enough to take her place. The house is quiet now, but every night, at exactly 10:03 p.m., the piano starts to play.